just centers, and it's nice and perfect. Hey guys, Brad here, and today we're going to be taking a look at how I fasten hinges and the drill bits that I use. There's a couple different ways to do this, and there's some specialty bits out there that probably a lot of people don't know about that are very, very handy and give you a perfect hole every time. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe, hit that notify bell, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and always leave some comments down below because I always get to them within 24 hours or that week at least. So yeah, come on in here and let's take a look. So there's a couple different hinges here that we're just going to use for an example. These are just your standard door hinges, and this is a new pack. Okay, nothing fancy here, and we've got some screws. And basically, when you're attaching a hinge to a door or to a jamb, you get it into your, let's just say this is the routed out portion. We don't have that routed out today, but let's just say it is, okay? And you want to drill your holes to attach your screws. Now it's pretty easy, you just kind of line it up and you drill your holes. And if you do this enough, it's pretty easy. But what I want to show you is what happened right there is when you're drilling, sometimes you'll hit grain. Even though I was lined up in the middle of the hinge, it pulled me over, all right? And so now my screw, I'll just show you here. My screw is not in the center. And you can see that these holes are in the center and this hole here is not. And so that happens sometimes because you've got a dull bit or because you're hitting grain. If you're going into, say, an MDF door, an MDF jamb, that's a different story. Usually they won't wander on you. But, with wood grain, it's very easy to just kind of pull that drill bit to the left or to the right. So there's a way to kind of get around that so that every time you drill, it's going to be perfect. I'm just going to grab, these are Robbie's, a driver bit here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let me show you. I'll attach this and I'll just show you what I mean. If I was to install the screw on the first hole here that is crooked, it'll pull my hinge over. So watch it pull over. See that? See how it pulled it off my line? So you'd want to fill that hole with a piece of wood and then redo it. Whereas if I start here, okay, it stays on my line. I think I lost some of my screws. And then I would do this hole. And then I could force this screw in. It's not great, but it works, okay? So the best way to not have this issue is a little drill bit that you can find online. We'll leave a link down below for it, but you can also get them at like some of the nicer stores. I don't know if Home Depot sells them or Lowe's. I think I've seen them there once before, but I don't know. You'd have to check. But this is my my door jig box. This is TSTAK. So I keep a lot of items in here that I use for cabinetry, door hanging, all that type of stuff. So these are the bits that we're looking at. These are self-centering, specific for hinges. And what happens is they have a tapered nose on them, and there's a drill bit inside. All right, and they're all numbered. You can get different sizes. This is a this is a number 9, and then this is a number 5. Okay, and you can get all different sizes, the whole range. So essentially, what happens is, if you want to come up here, I'll show you. When you're pressing down, the bit will come forward. Okay. Now this hole here is to allow the wood chips to come out, and then this is tapered on the front. You can see that it's tapered on the front to allow it to center on the hinge. So these are really, really great for getting your hinges perfectly centered, all right? Or your holes, I should say. So this might wander on me a little bit just because it's not routed in, but we'll give it a whirl here, okay? So I'm just going to trace this one again so we have a kind of a guide. See? Just centers, and it's nice and perfect. So if you take a look, all those holes are perfectly centered. So you can't fail with these bits. Every time you use them, you're just going to get a flawless end product. Now, this one's a little smaller, so you could use this one on, say, a smaller sized hole, right? This size here, it would wander still because it's smaller than the actual hole of the hinge. So you want to make sure you've got the right bits for the right job here. And this one would work perfectly for here. So then once we've got those holes drilled out, then we just put our screws in, no problem. And I should actually, when you're doing this, you want to use your clutch on your drill. Okay, so you don't over screw. See, hear it there? That way it doesn't over screw. So I highly recommend these guys. I've had them for years. I found them at, I think it was Lee Valley or something like that, probably 10, 15 years ago, and I've always used them. And they just stay in my box here. So I've always got them when I'm doing doors or cabinets or anything like that. They're just good to go. And I think in future videos we'll get more into this box, what I've got into it. Maybe I'll give you a sneak peek right now. But it's more to do with like hinges and door drilling and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, you've got your Dewalt guide here for drilling out door handles and all that good stuff, and the strikers, and then some other guides. We've got this beautiful guide here for doing our handles for doors, for cabinet doors, and this is for hinges. So we'll get into this another day. But yeah, guys, I think that is it for this video. I highly recommend them. You leave a comment down below if you want to talk to me about them. I can give you a hand where to find them or whatnot, but we'll leave a link down below for Amazon. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Subscribe, hit that notify bell, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Till next time, keep on crushing it. We'll catch you later.